Hello, everybody. I'm back. I'm back. I'm going to get switched over so I can see you and all of your lovely comments. I want to know why, couple things, why Brian's only had one cup of coffee. I mean, it's like 12:45 Central. One cup of coffee? Seriously? No, that's impossible. So, and taking care of your parents, I literally thought I was in the middle of one of those commercials. You know, the commercials that say you're turning into your parents. Well, I had lunch with my mom and my stepdad the other day, and I kid you not, it just suddenly hit me that what we were saying is like, are you turning into your parents? Maybe. Anyway, I swear I was in the middle of a commercial. I know that they were taping it and it was just, anyway. So, hi everyone. I'm Tanya with Karen Burniston Pop-ups, also known as KB Riley. And you might have seen me earlier with Riley and Company. It's because I own both companies. Karen and I are business partners with KB Riley, but I own Riley. So I am back doing the KB Riley video, and you are going to love this. So if you don't know about the Tanya's Take, what I do is I pick a die and I make the kit card out of the cover. Whatever Karen created for the cover of that die is what I made the kit for. Then when I come on here, I'll give you my take on the card. So you get Karen's take and my take. And let's see if I'm actually pretty well prepared. So this is, I'm going to switch you around, okay? Somebody is going to win everything to make the card that I'm about to show you. So this is, nope, I lied. Hang on. Bear with. This is the card that was in the kit. So everything to make this card was in the kit for Tanya's Take. And I do believe there's a handful of them left. Okay, KarenBurniston.com. And it comes with the die. This one actually came with two dies. It came with the pop-up die Fireplace and the Fireplace Extras 2. So these cards were not as detailed as this, so I thought I would make this one instead. The extras are so much fun. My take on the Fireplace card is what I am going to show you how we're doing today. Yay, this is my take, and I hope you guys all like it. I absolutely love this fireplace. I tried to make it kind of like my living room was. That's what I was kind of going for. So I will show you how to put all this together. It is so very simple. I put little tile around mine and everything. So when Karen designs dies, it's really interesting the way she designs dies. She makes a primary die, and then the dies that we create later accentuates the first die. They go with the dies that, some of them are new, of course, but a lot of our dies have add-on and extras. So this is one of those dies. So the Fireplace Pop-up was created, and you'll see this later, it's off there, but it has all the dies, and of course she writes delightful instructions. And then there's a Fireplace 2, all the stuff that would go with the fireplace, right? And a Fireplace 1, which are the extras for Christmas, okay? But you can use this fireplace year round. That is what I love about this fireplace, and that's why I chose it to make this month's kit. So when I'm done, I'll show you all the other different seasons you can use your fireplace with. This one is meant to just be warm and cozy and quiet because it's ridiculously cold, right? Craziness. So one person that comments during today's program, demo, whatever you want to call it, is going to win all the dice. Okay? So let's get started, okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and sit this here. It's really hard to see this card that way. I can try to do it that way. We can do it this way. And try. But I'm going to start with the actual fireplace itself, the mechanism, okay? And then we'll go to the point where we put it in the card. I can't do that there, sorry guys. So, if you are following along with your kit, okay, the fireplace mechanism is going to be the exact same, just different colors, okay? So these are the pieces that we're going to need. I cut out everything I need. And when you get our kits, if the die is not included, the pieces are pre-cut for you. So grab one of the Tanya's takes, it's fun. There's also, I think, there's a couple pieces or a couple kits left from Karen's class last week or this week. So make sure you look at the kits, they're a lot of fun. So here is your mechanism piece. All right, here's your mechanism die, and this is what it looks like. All of the lines, I think you can see these, are scored for you. So let's just go ahead and put this together. Right, Wendy? I knew it was going to be cold, so I thought, okay, this is going to be a great card for this. It's crazy here. I don't know how much snow y'all are getting, but it's craziness. So, all right, so on this piece, we are just going to fold this up. Now, it's a lot easier if you find your score lines and just kind of bend them a little bit so that you know where your folds are. You can bend them forwards and backwards so that the movement is easier. Okay, just like that. And then there's a little tab here that it's going to go in and fold it out. So everything is going to fold really nice. Okay, these pieces are going to fold down. All right. Oh, I knew he was going to do it. Meet Loki, everybody. This is our new cat, Loki. And he just woke up from a nap. He's a little kitten and he's quite rambunctious. So we are going to fold this in and fold that in, but they are actually going to go back. So this is what your mechanism is going to look like when you fold it. Okay, the two front pieces come down, this goes up, this folds down, and this is going to fold back, and we're going to make a little box just like that. All right, the reason there are two holes here is because this die kit, the Fireplace Extra, let's see, nope, just the regular Fireplace, okay, comes with a pair of boots. So it's little Santa's boots. And that is where you put those. Now, I will tell you, you can find the video on how to put this together, and I have to watch every one of them to figure it out. So if you can't get it from this video, you can. No, I do not pick the winners during the live. Haven't picked the winners for the last one yet either. Karina is not with me today, so those winners will be chosen probably Monday when she gets back. All right, so now I'm just going to glue. I'm going to use the KB Riley PVA glue in the fine tip bottle. Pull that out so I can show you guys that. And I'm going to just make this little box, scoot it in, and hold it down so it seals. Now, for those of you that saw that I use zip dry for all things Riley, hi Victor. Okay. This is not the same as zip dry. This is not even close. It's the polar opposite of zip dry. Okay. It will, I'm going to move this up so I can see your comments. This dries extremely quickly, which is why you use it. And it has a little tip that comes on the fine line bottle. Okay. The glue that comes out is, of course, safe, and it dries clear, but it also dries very quick. So now we have this, and this is the mechanism for our fireplace. So let's go to the fireplace. If you will see this, can you see that? I think you can. Yeah, the bricks on here. You can get the brick with this die, okay, by cutting it and then embossing it. But wait, there's more, because this is a stamping die as well. So we are just going to lay this here, and I'm going to grab, I wanted something very light, okay, just enough to show a little bit of color, okay, but I wanted a white fireplace. So I'm just going to get a blending brush, And I'm going to come in and I'm just going to add some color. Oh, so one lucky winner is going to win all of the dies to make this card. And the other lucky winner, I'm going to draw two, is going to win this card that I make, okay? Oops. I just hold mine down when I do this. If you need to tape it or tape it on a board to do this, that's fine too. Okay, then I'm going to come in a couple little spots and just add a bit more so it's not all uniform, okay? All right, and that is what we get. Pretty easy, huh? Not a big fan of that light pop in the middle, so I'm going to just come back and lay it back on there. Look at that. Okay, and that is ready to go. Then all you're going to do is just wipe your die off with a wipe, some kind of wet towel, whatever you want. All right, so this piece is going to lay right on top of here. Right, you guys know if I can do this, you can do this, right? So we're just going to sit that right there, and we're going to know the placement. It does not line up here. Okay, there's a little overhang there, so don't get confused by that. And the overhang is so that you don't see the Santa's boots when they're hanging there. So I'm going to sit this one right here, line it up with that side. I'm going to bring this one over here and line it up with this side. Okay, just like that. And if you do it correctly, right, that means you'll turn it over and you won't see it, and this will be at the top. Perfect, because this is your mantle piece. It is also scored. Okay. So I'm just going to fold it this way, but then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to fold it backwards. All right. And that is going to glue on top of there just like that. This is much easier to do if you have this off the card than on the card. So we're going to go ahead and glue that on there. We're going to center it just like that. And we're going to hold this down. All right, give it a minute to latch on there. How fast is that? Look at that. We already have a little fireplace going on there. Oh. Okay. Now, I'm going to put my logs together before we do anything else, okay? So, you only really need to cut one of these if you want to. I cut 3 because I want, it's Tanya's take. I need to do a little bit extra. So, the darkest flames are in the front down low, right? I'm just going to offset this and glue this onto here. I'm going to make something a little special. Just like that. Okay, now this one I'm going to drop down a bit and move it back the other way. So I'm going to line that up, put some glue on here. Haha, how many times do I need? This is a great question. How many times do you need to make a pop-up before you feel comfortable showing us how to do it? I only make it once. I really do. I only make it once, but I make it and I also watch Karen's video at the same, as well. It takes me a lot longer to create a card than it does to show you guys how to put one together that I've already created. Trust me on this. Okay, so we have that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a, this is my sponge with vintage photo. I have it out all the time. I use it all the time. I'm going to add just a little bit of vintage photo to give it some dimension, right? And then I'm going to glue my logs. On here. Okay, just like that. All right, so there's my fire. Now this is one of the grates for the fireplace, okay? I changed this. You're not going to glue it on now. You're going to glue it on glue it on a little bit later, but it goes right here in front of the fireplace, right? I did not want the little pointy things on it, so let me show you what I did. Took my scissors and I just cut it off right along the edge, just so it matched, just like that. It looked funny with these things sticking up. Just turn it over. And now I have a new lower grate on there. Okay, so you can use it 2 different ways. All right, we have everything going except this little piece right here is our little mechanism that is going to connect, and I'm folding it on score lines, guys. I don't know if you can see them when I fold them, but I can see them. Okay, so this is just, when it's done, going to make a little box like this. Just a little box. Okay, and that is what is going to hold. We're going to glue, oh no. We're going to glue this piece to the back of my fireplace. Let it sit there a second. And then that will be ready to be put into our card. Okay? Alright. See how it's coming together already? Look how fast that is. I'm going to set these little pieces aside for now. And we are going to make the base of our card. So I'm going to grab my big packet. I'm going to grab everything inside here. There's a lot of pieces. Because, you know, if you decorate your living room, you're going to have a lot of decorations, right? Okay. So this is a 5.5 by 5.5 card. So all I did was cut 5.5 by 11. We're just going to fold it in half. Okay. And then on the inside of the card, we're going to put wood down for the floor. And for this, I also use my zip dry. And you can buy zip dry on KarenBurniston.com too. Okay, so for those of you that don't know about zip dry, you need to know about zip dry. I know a lot of you do. Do you ever get tired of the spiel for zip dry? It's just such a great tool. I just love to share it with everybody. Okay, so you notice I just put it around the outside. This is basically rubber cement, okay, in a bottle. Remember the old rubber cement that we had that was in the jars that had the little wiry thing that you'd stick in? Yeah, and it was a real pain, and the wires got all tangled, and yeah, it was real messy. This is not. This is in a really cool, this is obviously high grade glue, rubber cement, but it lets you move your pieces around. And if I decided that perhaps I wanted this to go this way instead, I didn't like it, you have about 20 to 30 seconds to lift it off and put it back down. Otherwise, the best feature of zip dry is this. Can I ship zip dry now? Probably not in the next 2 or 3 days, but definitely once it gets above freezing, yeah. But not when it's minus 42 wind chill in Kansas, so no. All right, minus 17, I think. Sorry, it's 42 where Karen lives right now. Wind chill. All right, so with this, what zip dry does the most, see, my paper is touching, and it lets me move it around. Then the extras that's popping out, because you guys, can you see that? I've got glue squeezing out the sides. That's okay, it's going to seal that down. And if you try to get this off, everybody goes, well, so does it stay stuck down? If you try to get it off in about 5 minutes, you will destroy everything. Refills for zip dry. Paula, me too. Girl, me too. I wish they sold it in gallons because that's how much I use it. I use it for every single card I make. I have this and this. This is the only adhesive I use that's liquid. And they both have their own specific purposes. And that's all I use. Okay, so we have this. All right. Hey, you could do this too. It could be a carpeted room with, look at that. Probably wouldn't be as cute, but it sure could be that way. All right, we're going to do it this way. So now, we are going to, we can't put this in quite yet. This is where it's going to go, right? We can't put it in because, and I did not know how much time I was going to have. So I went ahead and did all of these first, but I decided I wanted tile, okay? So this is going to be centered right here, and all I did to make the tile is I cut the piece right across here, and I have a ruler. I'll tell you how big the piece is. So the bottom piece is about 4 1/8 by 2, and then I cut little corner. Oh, can you barely hear me? Are you guys having a problem hearing me? You shouldn't. I'm sorry. Am I mumbling? Anyway, so I cut little 3/4 inch pieces, and I just glued them down, just like that. Okay, that's all you're going to do. Then we're going to take this and glue this to our card base and butt it right up against the folds and center it. Okay. Ta-da! That's as easy as it is. Okay. Now the fireplace has to have, you can put the fireplace in without having a back. All right, but if you do, you're going to see your wall, right? And very rarely do fireplaces, you can see the wall behind your fireplace. If you do, I hope you don't use your fireplace. But anyway, so we are going to put, this is a little piece of black paper, okay? It's just 2 inches wide. And I wanted a little bit to come out on my hearth. So we're just going to glue this down right in the fold. I'm going to put this right in the middle. And then my fireplace, see, is going to, I want to make sure that it doesn't stick up behind my fireplace. If it does, just cut it down. It's where it sits behind this, okay? So we want it to sit just like that. Makes much more sense, doesn't it? Oh, I'm probably talking down. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. All right. I'm going to glue this in the center. Just like that. Fold it up. Bring it right down to the fold. Got a little bit of icky stuff from the zip dry, so I'm just going to rub that off. You won't see it anyway, but I'm going to rub it off. Okay. And then it's going to sit like that on the floor. Just like that. And you might close it just so that it gets comfortable, so it's a workable fold, okay? Always get in the habit of gluing something on and then practicing the fold, and gluing something on and practicing the folds, okay? Now, I'm thirsty, hang on. Okay. Now, this piece is going to go in, and you guys asked me how many times I had to make it before I can show it to you. This is where I might mess up, but I don't think so, because we are going to lay this bottom piece on the ground, on the floor, but right up against the fold of our card. All right, right up against the fold, because, no, we're not. See? We're going to flatten these down. I'm sorry. So these are going to go right there, just like that. And again, if you guys don't get it from my video, so I'm going to just flip these up. I'm going to use my pH glue because it dries quick for me, right? And I am just going to lay that down and butt it right up next to that, to the fold. And it's going to be over the black just a teeny weeny bit. Actually, I want it to be more centered, but it isn't going to be now. So then, yeah, I don't like that. Hold on. Pause. I'll do it again. It's the only thing about glue that dries real quick is I get used to having zip dry, which lets you move it around and get your lines perfect. All right. If you catch it quick enough, you can do that. There you go. All right. Next up, we're going to glue this on, all right, in the folded down position. So what that means is we're just going to take the front and fold it down like it would be if the card was shut, okay? Put our glue on here. And close our card. And really hope that I did it right. I got a peek. I did. Okay. Yeah. I didn't on the first one. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to let this sit here. And we are going to, I'm going to leave you guys in suspense. So I'm going to sit it underneath my jar. Okay? And I'm going to let it dry. Speaking of jars, a great idea that Karen gives in one of her videos, or probably many of them, is if you just take a jar and you put a paper towel in the bottom and put a little teeny tiny bit of water, you can always leave this upside down and you won't always have to be putting your cap on and off. All right, so now here are all of our extras. So we have our decorations, right? These are our decorations with this decoration and that one and this one that we need to do. So, and this piece right here. So we're just going to start assembling pieces so that we can put them in our card. All right. Just like that. I have heart here that goes on one side. And a gold heart that goes in the middle. And there's another heart here somewhere. There it is. Set these pieces aside. Okay. In this piece, just like that. Let me go over here. All right, there's the piece that goes on the inside of our card at the bottom. So now let's put together our little arrangements. You know, because you have stuff arranged on your fireplace, right? I have stuff arranged on my fireplace. So I'm going to get everything where I know what I have. And all I did, it looks like I did a lot, but I really didn't. So I cut out 3 different candles. Instead of using yellow, I decided to use sparkle, little glitter, okay, because I didn't want it to be real brash. I wanted it to be very neutral. And here's my little basket that I'm going to put my logs in and my vase. So I used, you guys aren't going to believe what this is. This is the boot cuff for Santa's boots. But I'm going to use it as just a short little vase, okay? So all I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue on there. Grab my little tool and glue that on. Super simple. And then I am going to put these 2 little guys together and just offset them. Oh, actually what I did, sorry. I'm not going to offset them. I cut this piece and all I'm going to do is trim off these little pieces, and I'm going to add it so it looks a little bit more full. Just like that. If you want to use the third one in the back, you can do that as well. I'm not going to. And it's going to go on my vase. In my vase. We're just going to lay that right there. And yes, you can see the green out of the sides. Can you guys see that? You can see the little greens poking out of the sides. No problem. That's what they make scissors for. And ta-da! I have a vase of green plants. Haha! So now my flowers and my vase is done. Whoops. Okay. I want to put some logs in my basket, but first on the basket I just want to give it a little bit of vintage photo ink, right? While I've got that out, I might as well do the rug as well. Not a lot. And for the candles, for this one, I just want a candle that sits on the side with it. I had a piece of string. Oh, I did. Before I do that, there's a little piece of string, and I thought, you know what, that might be kind of cute just to tie a little string on here, don't you think? Now the bow is a challenge this small. So I'm just going to put a dot of glue here and tie that and then cut it off. Pull those down so they're kind of trained to go down that way. And there we go. And I'm going to take a candle. And what color we should do? Not a real tall one. I don't want to. I want kind of one of the medium ones. Okay, so we'll take a white one. And these, if you can see them, they're folded like this. You can fold them, but you can see in between them. Can you guys see that? Which makes them really easy to cut apart if you want to. You don't have to. But you just snip the bottom and snip the top. Alright, I'm going to tuck this right here. I'm going to make it so it's even. And make sure it doesn't get on my paper. I don't want to glue it to my paper. There we go. Okay. There we go. And now for the flame, that's why I cut the glitter pieces. You can use glitter candles if you want to. Change them out. You can also use your markers if you have a yellow marker to just color the tip in. That'd be fine too. That is going to sit. And look at that. I just made a little mini arrangement that's going to go on our fireplace. Yep. And let's go ahead and put the logs in the fireplace. So we want to put a little bit of glue, or logs in the fireplace, in the basket. So I have one sitting there. Alright. You can cut as many as you want. I cut 3 because the die cut 3. Okay. So all of this is the exact same thing you're going to be doing in yours. Really super easy. And let's see. Let's tuck. I'm going to tuck that one in. There. Just like that. Alright. So with this one, what I want to do is 3 candles. I want a tall one in the back and 2 up front. So my tallest one in the back is going to be this brown paper. And then my shorter ones, I'm going to use this tall one. It's not going to be this tall, but I'm going to use it just because it's left over anyway. And I got to thinking when I was doing this that if you needed to make, this would be the perfect little candle die to use if you needed to make, you know, something that's got 50 some candles on, right? So I'm going to put dots of glue on each one of these. And I'm going to cut this off. And that off. My hands do not like little tiny things. I've never been quite that coordinated. There we go. And one more. Now, if you're a candle girl, you can make all the rest of these candles and put them on the floor and, you know, do whatever you choose with them. But for the sake of this, I'm only going to do this one. So we have that. And the tall candle is going to go behind here like that. All right. So we're going to put a little bit of glue here. Attach that to my tall candle because I want to see the little peeking through, right? And then the next one is going to go to the side right here. Just like that. And I have that drop of glue, and it's okay, it'll just disappear. And then I want to make an even shorter one to go right here. So I'm just going to take this tall one, cut it down, and just, it's going to tuck in behind, okay? And put a little bit of glue on it. And tuck that in right back there. This is a don't ever have candles going with real plants like this. Yeah, Cindy, I have an effect on a lot of people. Cindy said, oh my God, watching your make it puts a spell over me. And I don't have the kids. Yeah, I have that effect on a lot of people. Ah, whatever. Okay. And you know what? I've got a little empty space there. See this little empty space? Let's see. Can you see this little empty space there? I don't really care for it, but I do have one little extra leaf back here. So it's just like building a flower arrangement, basically. You guys are crafty. You know how to do that. So I'm going to take that extra little piece and put that there. Ta-da! No more empty space. There we go. So there's that. Now these two are going to pop up, and so is this one. So we're going to go ahead and make another one of these little boxes. Okay. And it's really cool how she did these. There's one side that's a little bit tall, or the fold is a little bit further away than the other, and that's because you can give them dimension on where you want them as far as how far away from the wall or your card they are. Okay, so if I wanted it to be further away, I'd put the bigger square on the top. We'll do that on this one. So that means do this. Okay. I'm going to set that right there. Just like that, and let it dry, get it nice and dry. And then we're going to put that in just over there. Now this one we want a little closer to the wall. So I gotta watch my time. Okay, good job. So this one, I'm just gonna bend it on the folds too. see. Now, this one has a little more of a narrow fold. So if I wanted to do that and make it closer to the wall, the narrow part would be on the top. Can you guys see that? The other one was a little thicker, this one's a little more narrow. So I would put my glue on the thick part on this one. All right. And yes, they do pop around. Gosh darn it. Like they're spring loaded. Okay. Shannon, if my fat fingers can do the little pieces, I'm telling you, anybody's can. Yes. Okay. So, these little pieces are done. Normally, if it has to do with little pieces, I make Dolores do it. Okay. Finally, we just have one more little box to make for this little guy. And then we'll do our frame, and then we will start assembling. I'm going to be right on time today. I'll give you a hint, Kay. Kay Richard said I would have to do something like this on a day where I have a lot of patience. I don't have a lot of patience ever on any day. You can ask anybody that knows me. Okay, I want this to stand out a bit, so I'm going to put the glue on the skinny side. And if I can do this, you can do this, really. Really. It just looks tiny because you're sitting on the screen. It's really not that tiny. You know, in real life, you can't have my Dolores, Shannon. Nope. She's mine. Okay. And look at that. All of our pieces are ready to go. On to... Oh, no, it's not. Can't show you yet. Can't show you yet. Because... Look what I want. I want to make a, see this? This was too big. I looked for a frame and looked for a frame and looked for a frame. You could use foam dots, Michelle, but they would have to be extremely small. The end of this glue bottle is like smaller than a pinhead. Okay. No, do not have the fan on. That's hilarious. So I found a frame that I wanted to use in my frame pull pop-up, okay? But it was square. I need a rectangle one. So how you do that is you're going to take the top line just like this, cut it off, and you want it straight across. Just like that. I want this cut down to right about, I'm going to glue this on just so I get it right. I'm going to glue the bottom part on. I stamped from one of our stamp sets, which it's a really cool little stamp set. It's a very peaceful little stamp set. So I glue that on. Okay, and then I figure out where I want my top. That's right where I want it, right there, okay? So all I'm going to do is come back. Uh-oh. And then this is going to glue right across here, just like that. And I'm going to butt it right up against those lines, and those were not glued down, if you remember. So all I need to do is just take this and run a little bit in here. And a little bit, oh, I got some glue on it. Then we have our custom frame, which is a lot cheaper than most custom frames, right? And we are just going to come across here and trim off the extra. All done. Yeah, right? Okay, so that's finished. Now it's time to assemble everything that we have. Are you ready? Here's our fireplace. Be very gentle the first time you ever open it. Work it a couple times so it's so it's nice and strong for you. But there's our fireplace ready to go. We want to glue the mantle down. Just like that. I'm going to tuck this in under there. Just like that. And if you just close it, okay, then it's attached just like this. We're wanting to put our fireplace in, right? So all we're going to do now is a little bit there, a little bit there, and we're just going to reach behind there and just push it down and let it sit for a second. Oh, sorry. It's like that. I just sat it in there. And I'm just holding it down so that it stays. We're going to do the same with these little guys. Okay. We are going to put a little glue on this tab and a little glue on this tab. And we are just going to hold it down and let it get stuck. Okay, I am going to set it upright, and I'm going to reach behind there and hold my fireplace up. Dang it. This is the part that takes a little patience, and I swear there has got to be an easier way to do it, and I did not watch the video on how to do this, so I would suggest you guys do. But just make sure you hold it until it gets nice and in place. My fireplace. These dried before I could get them in place. So here we go. Now hold it down. Putting everything together isn't the hard part. It's getting it attached to the card that my fat fingers get in the way. But if I can do it, you can do it, okay? Alrighty, that one's good. My fireplace fell out because the bottom didn't get glued, so we'll do that in a second. So now we're gonna do this next one. And I'm going to put glue there and on the bottom. Sorry, always forget you guys can't see that far down. Alright. And I'm going to just hold it in place. I can't show you and hold it in place at the same time. Guess maybe I can. See what I'm doing? Holding it in place, but I'm doing it at a 45, okay? It just occurred to me the easy way to do this. I know the easy way to do this. That's ridiculous. I can't believe I did this. So while those are drying, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. God, I hope Karen's not watching. So that would go there, and then that. Of course it would. Okay, the easy way to do this, you guys, for Pete's sake, is I'm going to sit this here so you can see my mantle. Now that I have struggled through putting this together, you're going to do just the bottom. You're going to flip it out, okay, because we want it popped out. You're going to lay that down where you want it. Then you're going to fold the little tab back in. Okay, so you're going to fold it flat back in to match the other one. Yeah, to find out all the mistakes that I make first. That's the way you should do it. Okay, and then you're going to close your card. and just let it do its thing, okay? We're gonna let it do its thing. I'm gonna take a drink. All right. See that? Yes. All right. So we have that. We have that. So now we know how to put our fireplace in correctly, right? We're going to lay it down in glue. Just fold the tab over. This is what I'm doing. Lay that box after you've worked the folds. Fold that down. We're going to put some on this bottom and some on this top. We're going to lay it right in there in the middle of the fireplace. And we're going to close our card. All right. While I'm holding that so that it does its jam, I am going to put some foam tape on this. My time always flies when I hang with you guys. It's craziness. Oh, Karen is there. Oh my God. Oh, she saw me floundering, you guys. Yeah. Sorry. I always try, you know, Karen and I make great business partners because we are two very different human beings. We're the same business type human being. Yeah. You guys are just going to have to bear with me on this one. I'll put that in later. Okay. Get in there. Gets in there. And once again, this proves my point. Always watch the video first. Okay? Always watch the video first. I cannot believe I'm struggling with a little 3-part thing. Okay. All right, so on this, I'm going to continue to go. I just pulled the tape off that and set it down. Alrighty, this is going to be centered right above our mantle. Okay, we're going to take our little fireplace insert and we are going to put a little bit here and a little bit right here. Alright, I am going to, there we go. This is how you get around fat fingers. Yeah, this right here. Okay, so now our fireplace is all put together. Look at that. Isn't that fun? So all we're going to do is add our rug. Oh shoot, we still have a cover, but that's okay, it's quick. Put this down. This is already put together. So we're going to put that down right there. I'm using my zip drive for that. It's like this. Alrighty. See, it really is quite easy to put together if you just watch the video first. Okay. So there we go. I look at the time and then I start stressing out. So here is our finished inside card, right? The outside is, or the front is so much easier, and I always do the front last because if you do the front first and then you screw up the inside, which sounds like something I would do, then you don't ruin your card. Anyway, I was saying that Karen and I are such great business partners because she is the polished one of the group. She does beautiful videos. If you go watch one of her instructional videos, they're so calming. Like, you can just listen to her voice and they're just as calm. And she puts them together so easy. And I love it. And me? Nope. Bull in a china closet, man, I'm telling you. And it seems to work. Karen's my little unicorn. Alright, so I am going to use my pH glue and attach this on here. I have 4 minutes left, you guys, which means you have 4 minutes to comment. Somebody is going to win this card, and Another person is going to win the fireplace in the 2 extra sets. Oops. Okay, don't want that there. Don't know what that is. Oh, piece of paper. So I have the hugs, and sending is another word, and that is out of, and it was so good for this time of year, right? Sending hugs by a warm fireplace. Right. Somebody said, I really want to try these cards, but I'm so scared to jump on the boat. I have to tell you, if I can do it, you can do it. That's how this whole thing got started, if you guys remember correctly, is that I was terrified. Karen came to my store and taught back when I had a store, and it's like, I'm not making these cards. You have Dolores make the cards. It's like, I was so totally intimidated by these cards. And then once we became business partners, I'm like, well, gosh, I suppose that I should probably learn how to make these. So I went out and watched her videos, and once I got one done, I'm like, wait a second. That was really super easy. That was easy. So then I figured, if I can do it, you guys can do it. And that is the truth. Okay? That is the truth. So I am just going to put this on here. I'm going to get this done. And I'm going to have time to show you guys some samples too. Look at that. Look how easy this is. It just comes together. This goes on here. You can pop it up if you want. I'm not going to for time's sake. That's going to go across here. And then the sending. It's going to go right here. Isn't that cute? And just like I did before, I'm not real picky about getting it on every single little piece. Just getting it on the majority of the parts. And there we have it. Ta-da! And our fireplace. Yay! My fireplace is giving me fits. Fun, huh? So that is Tanya's take, but I want to show you guys some more because this is fabulous. I have 2 minutes so I can show you some samples. You guys can get your comments in real quick. Like I said, Karina will draw those on Monday. She's not here right now. So Karen is graciously putting links up, okay? Look at this. So this was my inspiration. Look at that card. Isn't that amazing? The amazing frame. Nope, Karen Aikman did that. Okay, here's another one that has nothing to do with winter. Look. Because everybody keeps their mantle. You don't put your mantle away once spring comes, right? Or summer. You always have it. Put candles in here or something, right? Okay. Look at this one. This is going to blow your mind. Ready? It's a TV. Fun, right? And she even went, this has got to be, who is this? Sue Small Crider. Look at that. So watch this. With pizza. It's fabulous, isn't it? Okay, here's another one real quick. You guys have 1 minute to comments. There's another one with a cute little cat. The frames. All right. Here's one more for autumn. Absolutely stunning, right? So simple. All right, are you ready for this? This is going to blow your mind. So this opens up. This opens up. This opens up, and it sits, oh, and this opens up. How do I get you guys to see all of this? Look at this. This is the most amazing card I think I've ever seen in my life. Yes, yes, yes. And for the life of me, Karen helped me here, but either Sue Small Crider made this or Low. I don't remember who made this, and it's not on here. In this great cookies and everything, and it all just sits in here like a little room. Okay, you guys, I'm out of time. Look at that. I am out of time. This is just gonna fold up like this and fold over like this and I fold over like this, and I so apologize. I can't believe I didn't write down whose it was. Okay. You guys are done with me for the day. thank you. As always, thank you so much for sharing your Saturday with me. I really honestly do feel like I'm sitting down here in a room full of people creating and chatting and just having a little good time, right? And well, I kind of am, but I just can't touch you and give you a hug. So, until I can, I'm going to tell you what my mom used to tell me. She's really cool. Put your right hand on this side and your left hand on your right shoulder and squeeze real tight, and that's a hug for me. You guys have a great day. Go to KarenBurniston.com to get your kits. Have a fabulous rest of your afternoon, and I'm off to read some comments and watch the rest of the show. Take care, and thanks to Brian and Carol for everything they do. Love you guys. Bye.